Hello. I am so excited that you are here. I had asked on my Instagram if you guys wanted me to take you with me as I prep for the rest of the year. This is basically a halfway through 2021 vision board planning. So I had asked on my Instagram if you guys wanted to come along, and there's so many people that said yes, 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 please share. And so that is exactly what I'm doing. Is I'm going to share with you exactly how I'm going to plan the next 5-ish months of our beautiful 2021 year. And I've done so many vision boards in the past. I've done vision boards, by cutting out magazine. I've done vision boards by printing things out. I had like a push pin board that I used that I put different pictures on it. And I felt like it never really stuck. It never really worked. And so I feel like I've really mastered how I do my vision planning and how I keep track of my goals. And so I am excited to share with all of you. So this is, like I said, we're halfway through 2021, a little over halfway through, and I thought this would be a great time to release a video explaining exactly how I'm going to plan out the rest of my year, my goals, and all that fun stuff. So, okay, I have notes over here, so if you see me take a look, I just want to make sure I don't forget anything, so I took a couple of notes. But first things first, most importantly, is grab something to drink, okay? Get comfortable. I am in this like oversized baggy t-shirt. I'm feeling amazing. I actually have some water next to me. I went out on Friday night, and now apparently it takes me a couple days to recover. So I want to drink a ton of H2O today. And then I also have my LaCroix water. So grab something fun to drink. So we're going to do, because we're doing this together. So I want you to have something next to you to keep yourself hydrated. Okay. Perfect. So once you do that, what you're going to need then is, I just went to Michael's and I bought the best. Okay. I bought so many pens, and so I bought like all these different colors. Oh, these make me so happy. I'm in a very like pastel mood lately. So I bought all these. Okay. And then I bought, these are called the Micron. And they're like the 05. So I bought them in the different colors. And then I also bought this Zebra, which I love because it's basically one end is like a highlighter and the other end is to write with. So these will come in handy, especially when we do the journal part of it. This will come in handy. So grab some pens that make you excited and happy when you look at them. So I have them all laid out. I also bought stickers. So I bought some fun stickers that I'm gonna decorate my notebook with. I'll use these like in the morning. I thought these were really fun, and I don't know, I just was grabbing stuff that made me feel good and that I would put, that I would incorporate in my vision board. Then you're also gonna need a notebook, okay? Something that you're gonna write in. I always think the reason why I love to write is because it's the best way that you can talk to your subconscious. That's the quickest way to communicate, because you have to actually formulate what's in your head onto paper through the form of writing. So I love writing things down. So I highly encourage to grab a notebook. This is one of my favorites. I got this off Amazon, so I'm happy to link it below if you want this. This is done by my favorite artist. I probably will mess this up, but correct me if I'm wrong, but it's Gray Malin is the artist. He does a lot of those beach shots that you kind of will see. I love when I see them in stores, and he has a bunch of notebooks and everything. I don't know, it sparked joy in me, so I decided to buy it. The first one that I bought in Sarasota, and it was the actual beach one. This one I bought just off Amazon, and they're both on Amazon. So again, if you want it, I'll link it below. And then also I have to show you something so cool. So if you, okay, have a bookmark, I have bookmarks like this everywhere in all the books. that I own and all my notebooks and everything, just so I can keep my place. And if you've been following me for a little while, you know that one of the big things is that you want to surround yourself with money. And $100 bills, I like to keep $100 bills like all in my wallets. And so if you're not in a place that you can do that, these are a perfect alternative. They're just beautiful gold bookmarks that are $100 bills, because I wanted to remind myself, the reason why I put $100 bills all over, including these, is because I wanted to remind myself that money is all around. Money's here to support me, and everywhere that I look, money will always be there for me. So this was a little way to remind myself when I see these fun. So that's in this notebook here. So grab yourself a notebook, okay? Pens, pencils, anything else that you feel inspired. I have some black pens as well. Stickers, anything. You can also do this on your phone, so don't feel like you have to do it on like actually a notebook. You can actually just do it in the notes section on your phone. So you don't need to make this complicated. It's whatever fits for you. And then you also need something that you can access the internet. So whether your computer or your iPhone will be going online, because we'll be using Pinterest, potentially PicMonkey, as well as Canva, and you'll need internet for that. So whatever device that you can to access the internet, you'll need as well. Okay. All right, let's get started. Now that we have everything, let's take a drink, and cheers to all of you for showing up and being here. I'm just like so excited. Okay, so like I mentioned, I feel like I've done dream boards in the past before. You know, like I said, I cut out things from magazines. I've hung them in certain places of my house. I feel like I've done dream boards in the past. I've even hosted like dream board making at my house, like with all my girlfriends. And I love doing it, but for some reason, it just never clicked for me. Like, you know, I put some pictures on there, but I really feel like I've nailed down exactly what works for me. So again, take what you need from here, from the learnings, leave what you don't. This is all about what works specifically for you. I'm just sharing what works specifically for me and what has really helped as I've transformed from all the years of making dream boards, transform what's really helped me and what hasn't helped. Okay. So the couple things that I've recognized that didn't work in my own journey was, number one, I was cutting pictures out of magazines, and you're really limited to whatever that magazine, the pictures have in that magazine. So I'd cut out like a picture of like a great, you know, background of something, or like a kitchen or something like that. But I didn't really feel connected to that. I was just cutting it out because I was like, oh, this like looks like it would be awesome. And I don't have like a lot of magazines. So I would kind of cut that out. So not really connected to what I'm posting on there, as well as like having really being limited with just cutting out of magazines. Another thing is I didn't look at it enough. So I find a lot of people who do vision boards, they don't like, this needs to be in your face. Okay. So now I have my vision board on my phone. I carry it. I want to create like a notebook once I'm done, because like I said, I'm building mine with you as well. I want to create a notebook where I can carry it with me and see my vision board in front of me. And then I put it on my desktop because I want to be able to see it at all times. I also will change, if there's one big goal that I'm working for, I will change some of my passwords as well. And knowing that I have to type them in every single day, I want to really just have them stick into my subconscious mind. So I'll change some of my passwords. Again, I'll scroll Pinterest every once in a while, like before bed or in the morning, just kind of look at my board and get inspiration and get re-excited about my goals. And then again, it wasn't clear enough. Like I would just pick a picture of a beach, but I wasn't clear on what specifically that meant to me. You know, in us going through here, I want you to get really clear on what it is that you want. What are things that bring you joy? What are things that excite you? And I just feel like so much of the time I would just plop things on there because I was like, oh, I have to do this, or this is something that I think I want. and I never really felt connected to it. And as Marie Kondo says, is like, what sparks joy for you? What do you look at that just really makes you excited and that like warm and fuzzy feeling? If you're having struggle with that, one of the ways that you can think of is the next time maybe you're scrolling Pinterest, or you see someone, or you hear a friend of yours is going on vacation, or you see a couple kissing on Instagram, if that sparks anything in you, pay attention to that. Pay attention to where that energy is coming from. Is that something that you're like, man, I really would love a relationship like theirs? Or man, I really would want to take a vacation to Italy like they're taking, because that is a good indicator of things that you want. And that was a big thing for me, like a couple years ago, that I learned through jealousy. Like I used to get super jealous and, of when I saw things like that on the internet, or, on Facebook or on Instagram, couples kissing, or people going on vacation, or freedom in certain ways, or certain cars people were driving. And now, because being jealous is such a low vibe energy for me, now I look at it and first of all, I'm like, thank you, universe, God, angels, for sending me something to show me what it is that I might want. Like, I'm actually grateful for the opportunity that you sent me this. Like, this is exciting for me. And the second thing is that if they can have it, if they have this amazing and wonderful and delicious relationship, if they went on this crazy, insane trip and had all these fun things and experiences that they did, you can do that too. There's no difference. And they're just showing you that it's possible for you to do that. So again, if you're scrolling and you don't really know what exactly you want, or what maybe you're having a hard time, or maybe in the past you're like, man, I've just put all these things up on my board that really didn't mean anything. Take a little bit of time to recognize if there's anything that's come up, like in the last couple of days, or if you've heard something or seen something scrolling, pay attention to those, because those are little signs that maybe that's what you want in your life too. Okay. So I want you to get really, really, really clear with what it is that you actually want. And the nice part is in a little bit, I'll kind of break down, have you like focus in on a couple of different things, especially because, like I said, we have a couple more months at the end of the year. It'll help you, instead of thinking like life goals, like maybe we narrow it down to a couple of different categories that you focus on over the next couple of months. But during this process of you getting really clear with what you want, so again, if you're scrolling Pinterest, if you're on Instagram, all this stuff, I want you to pay attention if anything comes up, if there's any stories that come up that tell you that you cannot have that thing. So if someone's flying first class, or if someone shares that they're making $5,000 extra on a monthly basis, or if they're going on an all expense paid trip to Fiji or the Bahamas or Turks and Caicos, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's something I've actually always wanted to do. I want you to recognize if there's anything that comes up that tells you that you can't have it. Okay. I go through a lot of this, especially when it comes to wanting to increase your income. I go through all of this in detail in my Your Money Makeover course. So if you want that, I'll link that below as well. If you want to get more deep into actually how to figure out specifically what you want, especially on the money side of things, I go into a lot of detail of how to recognize that and reframe that belief. But this is just being the gentle observer of, are there any thoughts that are coming through that tell you that you can't have what you want? Because I want to ask you permission that during our time together this whole time, I want you to turn that off. So I want you to really just allow yourself to really play with your imagination like we did when we were kids. Just play with your imagination a little bit. Let yourself dream, let yourself just figure out what it is that you really feel connected to. What would make you happy? That could even be hiring someone, whether that's in your business or personal life or in your household, or I'm quitting my 9-to-5, whatever it may be. Just allow yourself to kind of dream. And if you need to write out some ideas, you can take out your journal and write a couple ideas. I love scrolling Pinterest. I'll kind of get clear on what are the things I want usually in my journal, and then I'll go on Pinterest and start matching photos that look like that. Okay. So recognize some of the things that come up, if anything comes up during that time. Now, the most important part here, the most important thing is that you do not need any justification for what you want when you're pinning these goals. These boards are for you and for you alone. People see my Pinterest, my board on my phone all the time, you know, especially if it's on the background of my screen. No one knows what this means. No one has any idea why I have a picture of a bathtub right there, which I need to get rid of because I already have that now. Not the view, but I do have a bathtub in my place. You know, I can no one's going to read this. So you do not need any justification for the things that you want. Okay. And now if you're having a hard time connecting to specifically what it is that you want, you also can try and connect it to a why. So as you're going through these categories here, as you're picking your categories and as you're kind of going through everything and you're writing down everything, let's say that you're like, hey, I want to make more money. I want to make $5,000 more a month. I want to get a raise from work. I want to quit my job. Let's say that it's your financially is one of your goals. How much money do you want to make? So get specific. And then what would you do with making more money? So a lot of times, sometimes we have a hard time with just saying we want to make more money for ourselves. Especially a lot of my women that I do one-on-one coaching with, sometimes they have a hard time being like, well, I feel selfish, with feeling like I want all this money for myself, which again, I talk about in other videos and in my course. But for this sake is like, it's really about connecting then to a why. So if you're going to make $5,000 more a month, maybe that means that you get to put your kids in a specific school that you really want them to go to. Maybe it means that you get to save for their college education. Maybe that means that you get to move into the house that you've always wanted that gives you more room and more space in there. Maybe it's hiring a nanny so you could sleep in a little bit in the morning or go to the gym or work out or put on mascara, right? Connect to your why. Maybe if you make more money, your partner can stop working or they can find their dream job. Connect your why if you're having a hard time. For me, it's easy for me to just want what I want, but I know there are some people out there that it feels easier to connect to a why. Okay. If you want to go on to a trip, okay, so as like the next portion is you're going to be looking through your Pinterest. And again, I go down like 100 different like avenues when I'm on Pinterest, because I'll see something and then I'll click on that and then I'll see something else and it'll kind of like take me in this like spirally direction. But if you want to go on a trip, let's just say this year, where exactly do you want to go? I mean, even map out what hotel would you go to? What excursions would you go to? I want you to get really, really crystal clear on what it is that you want, because it's also going to make your board a little bit easier for you to follow. Because so many times when people do their vision boards, or like even let's say set like a New Year's resolution, I think the saying is people forget their New Year's resolutions by I think like February or March. And so this has really helped me. Number one, with sparking joy, like continuing to make sure I'm connected to it. And number two is where getting specific and like, where exactly am I going? Right. And, being able to go on this trip, I'll be able to take my parents with me. Right. Yeah. That can be something that you connect your why to. If you pin something or you have something, an idea of like maybe a house on there, where is that house? How much does that house cost? If you want to redo your kitchen, what tile would you use? What inspiration would you pull from, right? Like pull those things, get specific, get excited, start visualizing all this stuff. If you want to travel first class, where would you go first class? What would that look like? What would the plane look like that you're flying in? I always flying first class. I'm excited this year to fly in one of those lay down, since I haven't been traveling overseas or anything. I haven't had the opportunity to have a lay down bed in first class yet. That's gonna be something I'm really excited to do when we can start traveling internationally. And then for your health, I know people always say like get healthy, and I know I wrote down as one of my things is health, but what does that mean to you? You know, does that mean that you want to lose a certain amount of weight? So like, how much weight is that? I have a lot of things on my Pinterest board where there's a lot of flexibility or stretching or doing like really cool yoga moves. So mine is I want to be able to stretch more and touch my toes, because yes, I can't touch my toes. So that's one of my goals for this year that I'm working on with getting more flexible. If you're a runner, like, would you want to run a couple miles longer than that, or shave off your time? What would that look like? Get specific with that, because it's going to help you with, number one, manifesting it into real life. The second thing, it'll help you with picking out pictures that will stay connected to that goal. And third thing, when you picture it somewhere, it'll bring that joy into you and bring that, it'll spark that joy for you when you look at it, to continue to have that front of mind for you. All right. So now when I do this, there are a couple of different categories that I work with. So there's lots of, again, if you're still having a little bit of hard time getting clear, this chart, I'm going to post this chart. This probably will help you. Maybe I'll put it on my phone. Okay. All right. So there's something called, which I love this, there's categories, or on Pinterest, it's called the Wheel of Life. Okay. So the Wheel of Life looks something like this. Okay. Where there's all different areas of your world that you can focus on. You might not be able to see this, but I'll put a picture up here. So the Wheel of Life is family, business and career, financial, spiritual, lifestyle, personal growth, health, and relationships. Okay. So there's a ton of different categories that you can focus on with what you want to put on your vision board. Okay. Now, again, if you're still having trouble with what excites you and what brings you joy and what sparks things for you, you can go through here and you can rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. Okay. So you can say, how does family right now in my life, how do I feel about that category? And again, you can, whether 1 is high or 5 is high, you can rate yourself, and that will help you maybe get in tune to what you want to focus on out of these categories that we have picked. Okay. Because I found when I had tried to focus on every single one of these categories, I felt like nothing got done for me. I really felt like, if I was trying to focus on everything, nothing got done. So what I want us to do is pick 3 of these categories that you want to focus on the most. Okay. What 3 categories from here? So again, the first things first is that if you don't know what category you want to focus on, go through and rate yourself, because that will be important for you to distinct which one you actually really like. How are you doing in that category? And then narrow it down to 3 categories that you want to focus on between now and the end of the year. Okay. Because that's what I did. So this is the time where you're going to bring out your notebook. Okay. Open up to a blank page. Grab a fun marker. And I want you to write top 3. Okay. Now, I already know what my top 3 are. Okay. So this is quite easy for me because I have been focusing on this for a little while, and it still feels good for me to focus on it, which is why I like kind of doing this kind of 6-month check-in a little bit, because you get to really affirm if these goals are the ones that you actually want to focus on. Okay. So my first goal is business. And I always say business for me is kind of like financial. Okay. And then the second one, and again, I'm using different colors. You don't have to do this. You can also do this in your notebook. So I'm going to do business and then relationship. So for me, that specifically means with a man, so with a partner. Because again, if you've been following me on Instagram, you will probably have known that I have been dating and taking you guys along with me. So that's been a fun journey. Okay, and then the third one that I focus on is my health. Okay, so I just basically write down those 3 areas of, how can I put this? Anyway, I just write down top 3, and then I'll write down those 3 areas, and I just did it in different colored markers because I like using all the markers I bought. Okay, so once you get clear on that, okay, once you kind of get clear on what are the 3 categories that you really want to focus on, okay, this is the fun part. This is where I want you to go on Pinterest, and I want you to start pinning everything. And again, if you need to start with those 3 categories, you can. What I do is, if you follow me on Pinterest, you will see I have a board called My Life Manifested, which is basically anything that I see myself happening, like big picture. Like for instance, the condo that I'm living in right now, I'll only be living in there until April. And then in April, I'm really excited to move into either a house or a new condo. And I'm already starting to get visions of specifically what I want the place to look like. The balcony that I want, the windows that I want, this cute little office space that I have, like exactly how I'm going to decorate it. You know, like I kind of picked that because it was the most exciting, kind of came to me the fastest. And then I just kind of left that on My Life Manifested. And then in that section, I created a 2021 Pinterest board of things that I know that I want to focus on for this year specifically. Okay. And if you need to, before you pin, you could go through here, go through your notebook, and you could write down all of the goals in those 3 areas, all of the goals that you want to accomplish in that area. So business or financial, relationships, health, those sort of things. Okay. You can look at what exactly you want. We went through our categories. Okay. Again, if you're still labeling 1 to 5, that's okay. You could be doing this while we're talking. Once you're done with that, or once you've kind of figured out where exactly the 3 categories that you want to work in, the second thing you can do after you finish your dream board is you can break those goals down. Okay. And I talk about this in a couple other videos. I absolutely love following the 12-week year. It really helped me become successful in a lot of different areas of my life. It's basically saying what you want to do in 12 months, breaking it down into only focusing on 12 weeks. So, you know how like a lot of annual planning doesn't really work because it's sometimes a big number. And again, same thing with like New Year's resolutions is you'll be building up to it or working towards it. And maybe you'll forget that that's a goal that you set. And then all of a sudden November comes around and you're like, oh, I set this goal and I completely forgot about it. And then the excuses come. Well, I didn't really want to hit this goal, or something happened, or something changed in my life, those sort of things. So I love the 12-week year because it talks about 12 weeks really represents 1 year. So if you want me to do a video, let me know. I'm happy to break down exactly, specifically only focus on the 12-week year. And then I also love the Ivy League method. And I did do a podcast on that if you want to listen to what that means, because I won't go into that into too much detail here. And then lately, for the next couple months, I'm going to be breaking down a monthly goal. So like, again, breaking it down into bite-sized pieces will help you to obtain some of the goals that you want, because 5-ish months away or so from the end of the year is still a long time for you to accomplish so many goals that you're going to be putting on your vision board. And so what you can do, and what I do, is breaking down each of these goals into bite-sized pieces on a monthly, weekly, daily basis. That really, really helps me with keeping me consistent and keeping me on track for my goals. And also, honestly, giving me some grace that if I am doing something consistently and I really don't want to do it anymore, I am allowing myself to be okay with pivoting in a different direction. If you decided that getting healthy means that you are going to go to the gym 5 times a week, and you try it for a couple weeks and you're like, this just does not feel good to me, I would rather go to the gym 3 times a week and do yoga twice a week, that's still the same thing. It's okay to pivot and to change the things that you're doing, even especially on your vision board. That's why I like updating these, is because things that I wanted to focus on last year or things I've hit last year, now I can take them off and really clean everything up here. So again, you can have and do whatever it is that you want in these next couple months. Just breaking it down will really help you with staying track and on focus. And then if we need to pivot, we can pivot. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Oh, also a tip I wanted to say is that if there has been a goal that you have continuously wrote down year after year, month after month, and you're just not hitting it, let's just say, I want you to have a little one-on-one with yourself and ask yourself, what's going on there? What is the belief system? What's the stories that are coming up that are not allowing you to achieve that goal or to write that goal down? And again, is there a way to pivot that would feel better for you? So maybe if you're only making a couple $1,000s a month, maybe going from $50,000 a month is not obtainable. Maybe you're like, that scares me so much that I'm not even going to do anything about it. That's just like, there's just no way in hell I'm ever going to do that. Now, granted, you can change that, okay? But let's just say that that's where you're currently at. What about going from, if you're at $2,000 a month, what about going to $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month? Pick a number that feels right for you, okay, that you can do that's just a little bit above and a little outside your comfort zone, okay? I love going for like pie in the sky goals. I'll write down a bunch of stuff. And then again, we'll break it down based on what does that look like? What do I need to do? And I did this awesome post from this awesome girl that I follow on Instagram. She created it. I just reposted it. It's basically income goals for the year with weekends off. So if you wanted to make an additional $30,000 a year, that's $115 a day. All the way up to $1 million a year is $3,900 a day. And that's just the weekdays, not including weekends. And I love that because if you wanted to make $100,000, that's $385 a day, or $45,000, that's $173. Whatever number you feel connected with that you're like, heck yeah, I know I can do that. That is so obtainable for me. I know if I can just focus on that, I know that will happen for me. Start there first. Okay. Now I want you to start pinning. Okay. So I want you to start going through Pinterest. Okay. And I want you to pin either things that bring you joy. So again, you can do what I did and just my life manifested, and just pin everything. Also to note, when I do my Pinterest boards, I always do them in present tense. So I used to do and label them like my future homes or, home office or something. Now I'll label them like my life is manifested, or I am wealthy if I'm like doing stuff for like money sort of things. And even I do this on all my little categories on my phone here. I'll even label them I am wealthy, and I'll put like all of my like Chase Bank and Venmo and all that stuff on here. I'll say like where I have all of my Instagram and Voxer and Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff, I label that folder I am connected. So every time that I'm looking on here, I'm always giving myself little affirmations. So again, little ways that I can talk to my subconscious mind to say, okay, I'm connected, I'm wealthy, this is amazing. I want to just, again, positivity all around me. So even when I glance at it, I can grab that and my subconscious mind. Okay. So I want you to start going through Pinterest, or if you want to Google images, you also, something that I love doing is I love going on Instagram. And if there's things on Instagram that I really like, or someone just took a trip somewhere, and I really want to go on that trip, or they're wearing something that I want to buy, whatever it may be. They have like a hair color that I want to try, whatever it is. I will save the posts. And if you know how to do this already, you're going to know how to do it again. So let's just go to one of my posts. Let's just say you wanted to save that income goal post that I just shared. Okay. So you're going to go and you're going to click on, okay. I don't know if you can see. Okay. I'll put it like a little thing. I'll move over so then I can put what it looks like here. I'll do a screen grab and put it right here. So then what you do is there's a little thing in this corner. Okay. You're going to click on that. Okay. And it'll say save to collection. And then how you're going to get back to it is you'll go to your home page. You'll click on the 3 little dots on top, and then you'll go into saved, and you'll be able to find all of your posts that you save in that one section. That's where you'll find it. Okay. So that's where I'll pin, if I want, again, a certain trip, or I want to try out a facialist, if I see it on Instagram. So that could be a way that if Pinterest isn't really speaking to you, or you want to find something specific that maybe someone that you follow has, or kitchen ideas or working out guides. There's a woman I follow on, who's so cute and so sweet. And I follow her because I love the way that her body looks. So that's going to be one of my goals is I want to tone my obliques, and I want those cute little lines on the stomach. So I pinned some of her things because she's also on Pinterest and Instagram. Also, a tip while you're going through Pinterest is I also love to find pictures where the faces are not in the picture, because that way it's a really easy way for me to envision myself in that position. Okay. So if it's blonde, so it's a relationship, a guy holding a girl out of the water. So cute. She has blonde hair. That could easily be me. So I like to pin things where, there's not a lot of their face, and I can just kind of picture myself in that position. Also, if you have Pinterest and if you've been pinning for a while, I want you to only have things that speak joy to you. Okay. So if you have something on here that maybe you put in the past before, let's just say you have, for instance, this picture, a bubble bath with a glass of wine. What specifically does this mean for me? What does this mean in my ability? Do I want the bath? Do I want the champagne? Do I what is it? Do I want to travel? And it looks like, that's what my suite looks like. What is it that I want from that picture? Because if you cannot remember what it is, delete it, get rid of it, unpin it, get it out of your, I have a little hair sticking up, get it out of your Pinterest board. Okay. And if you have maybe a Pinterest board that you maybe have been doing this for a while, you can always start a new one. You can always just start from scratch, start from fresh, and go from there. Okay. All right, let's take a drink. Tia. Okay, so keep pinning all the fun things that you want. Okay. And now, okay, after you're done pinning everything and you've kind of figured that out, again, remember, go back to your journal, and I want you to write down, like I said, every single goal that you want from your top 3. Okay. So when you write down your top 3, again, mine is business and financial, relationship, and health. Okay. I want you to write out every single goal that you want from business and financial, or from the 3 goals that you picked. Okay. So for me, I wrote down everything that I wanted and I included numbers next to it. Now I'm thinking of this in this year. What do I want to include in these 3 years in the year 2021? So when I look back on December, when I'm about to celebrate New Year's Eve, I'm sitting back and I'm looking and I can look back at this and say, did I hit these goals or not? This is also the time that you could use. Okay. So I want you to write down every single goal that you want to hit from that section. Okay. So for instance, with relationships, maybe you go, let's say you want to improve your relationship with your partner, or you want to find a relationship. What is one goal that what are all the goals that you can hit from there? Okay. So maybe it's going on a certain amount of dates a month or a week, right? Maybe it's practicing, maybe it's reading the 5 love languages to know what your love language is. Maybe it's to surprise your partner, 1 time a week and cook dinner. Whatever you think that will help your relationship grow, expand, all that stuff, right? Like write all of that down. Okay. For health, like for me, I wrote all of the things that I want for my health. Okay. So take some time, sit down, write down everything. One of my health things is to, with flexibility, it's specifically to touch my toes by the end of the year. So 2021. Okay. I'm going to put practice yoga. That will help with flexibility. Another one could be like with your health, like drink more water. So I want you to write down all of the goals here under those sections, okay? All right, now I want you to go back through after you finish all of that. And again, you can pause me if you need more time. I want you to pick one goal that would help you move the needle, that you know from all of this list that will help achieve this goal by the end of the year. Okay. So if one of the things is you want to better your relationship with your partner, or like me, I'm, single. So for me, it's maybe going on a certain amount of dates between now and the end of the year. Okay. So what would be one thing from this list, one inspired action that you could take to move you closer to the goal that you want to accomplish? Okay. So again, remember, health-wise, like specifically, what do you want your health to look like? Write down all those goals and then pick one of them to say, okay, I'm going to pick specifically for me, as I shared with you guys, tone up my stomach, get those sexy oblique lines that I'm looking for. That's what I want. That is what specifically I wrote down. And then I just highlighted it as like, I'm going to focus on this one. Okay. Same thing with relationship and same thing with business. Okay. So you're going to highlight them. You're going to focus on those areas. So you have your 3 categories, and then underneath it, you're going to have your 3 specific goals in those categories that looking back on this year, you're going to say, I'm going to hit this goal by 2021, by the end of 2021. Okay. I'm so excited for you. Now, after you're done pinning, okay, all the fun things that bring you joy and make you excited and all that stuff. Okay. I want you to pull up Canva, or if you don't like Canva, Canva is free, which is why I like it. I want you to pull up Canva. So I like to go in to my vision board. So when I'm looking at my Pinterest, okay, I like to save each of the things that I'm focused on. I like to categorize them in my 2021 vision board. Okay. So I like to categorize them as those categories. Okay. So again, you can just go into here. As you can see, I have my life manifested, and then I have my 2021 life manifest. And the cool thing is, the reason why I like this and being a little bit more organized is one of my the thing that I'm trying to strengthen the most this year is my 2021 life manifested. As I continue to do more dream boards, it's going to be fun to keep this here. And then next year I'll say my 2022 life manifested. So it'll be fun to keep these, like a record of all these. Okay. So I want you to pull up Canva and I want you to create the design. Like the thing I love about Canva the most is that it is so easy to make things like this. So if you go to create a design, you can click on your phone wallpaper, or you can click on desktop wallpaper. So like super, super easy to use. Again, you could use PicMonkey. I believe PicMonkey is, you'll have to pay for it. So again, if that's not true, I just know it says start free trial. And so I've just always liked Canva and the way that Canva works. So I stick with Canva. Okay. Now, if you're not finding things on Pinterest, what I like to do is mix. I'll like download things. Like, again, like as I told you, I like finding things that are on Pinterest, or excuse me, on Instagram. And then I'll like crop it. And then like I uploaded this photo and put this in my life manifested here. Okay. So I uploaded some of these photos as well on my vision board. So I like doing that because here I can come over here and just everything's in one place. So again, whatever makes things easiest for you. Now, okay, I'm going to go to uploads and you're going to click upload media. I already did this. You're gonna click, and then now you can go into each of your sections. Now again, you don't have to do this like I did. You include this all in one place, but I basically go in here and I click this and click shift, and then I'm able to upload everything. And then click upload media again, click your device, and keep doing it over and over again. And the reason why I like Canva so much is because I like creating, so you can like put all your pictures in here. I like being able to like actually make them kind of look like a collage. So I like doing like different cute, like, you know, this is like going to be my new place. So I'll make it look all cute and make it look like old school, like how I used to do dream boards back in the day. Now, a tip here for when you're doing your dream board is whenever you want the most, keep this in the center here, because this center is going to be the first thing that you see on anything. Okay. This is going to be the first time that you see, anytime that you look at your notebook, anytime you look at your computer screen, that's going to be right smack dab in your face. Okay. So look at whatever's the most important to you, put that in the middle. And then I'll usually kind of section this off a little bit, like kind of surrounding it. I'll do like body over here, house over here, business over here, along with some travel. And then I might do like relationship over here, like I'll kind of like divide it in a little bit of quadrants. And then if, let's just say I put a picture of this, and let's say right now I know what this is, but I know myself that at some point I'm probably not going to remember what this is. Here's the best part is you can actually add text to it. So I'll just click in here and add text. Okay. And say, traveling with, other business owners or entrepreneurs or whatever that, one of my goals, or traveling with my best friends or something. So then that way, in a couple months, when I look at this picture, I'm not like, wait, where is this? Who is this? Why do I have this down here for? I can actually stay connected to it. So I'll even go back to uploads. Like I'll even find two pictures. So this is Lake Como as well as this. And here's the best part you can do in Canva is you can crop this. And then you can lay this right on top. Bring forward. And now I have this. You can also make it a little less transparent, so it looks really cute with this picture, and then you can just move it with the picture. So I like doing this because, again, I don't want you to forget while you have this on here. If you're saying you're going to make more money and you just put, you know, dollar signs on here, like how much more, like how much money do you want to make? You know, if you want to get in shape, what does that look like? So it's getting this oblique muscles, you know, flexibility, touch my toes, you know, whatever, like be creative here. If you need to add some words to it, I want you to get creative here. So this is kind of how I assemble my dream board here. And like I said, I make it all cute looking. All right. That's how I put all that together. So remember, I want you, when you're uploading these photos, I want you to really figure out what sparks you, what brings you joy. When you look at this, like when I'm uploading these pictures here on my dream board, because again, I'm doing this with you too. Like I'm excited. Like I cannot wait to go to these places. Like, again, if you book, like if you figure out a trip, like where would you want to go? What hotel would you want to stay in? Like this is the part to really have fun with it. Okay, and now I have my board all ready and together. Oh, it looks so good. I hope your board looks amazing. If you want to share it, you can tag me in it. If you post it on any sort of social media, I'd love to see it. You can even either DM me, but I really highly encourage you just to take the time right now. It's super easy to do. Like I said, especially like for me throughout the year, I kind of cleaned up my Pinterest. You know, you could delete your board and kind of like restart or add to it and clean it up if you want to. But this is super easy and super simple once you kind of get all the pictures in place, and then just put them in really fun ways that, again, spark joy when you look at it. Delete things that don't look at it. I like Canva too, because I think it's one way for you to be able to change at all times. You know, you can go in there and delete pictures and re-upload them to your desktop and like your phone and all that stuff. So it's like super easy to be able to do that. Again, I like having really it everywhere. So now what I'll do, and if you want to see another video on this, now what I'll do is I'll take these goals now that I did. So like I said, health, the tone up my stomach, get the oblique lines, is what do I need to do, right, over the next couple months to achieve this goal. Okay. So I know I have the visual now. I know what I want. I know I got very clear. What are maybe 3 things? I'm all about the threes. What are 3 things that you can do right now to get you closer to that goal? What are the inspired actions that you can take to get you closer? Same thing, if you want to make a little bit more money on a monthly basis, what are 3 things that you can do over the next couple weeks to get yourself there? And I break that down on a monthly basis and then on a weekly basis, because so many times people think, again, they want to make more money. And that chart that I just showed you is beautiful because it's only $115 a day to make an extra $30,000. That's all you need to focus on. How can you focus on going to make another $115 5 days out of the week? Okay. So it's really easy. I'm telling you it's easy because I want you to start believing that this stuff is easy for you. But I love this. Like I had so much fun. Like I'm excited to decorate with my stickers. I'm going to pull some stickers out of here and start to plan a little bit more, but my vision board, it looks amazing. Again, I added some text to it. I also cropped a bunch of pictures. So right in, like I showed you in Canva, you can crop a bunch of stuff in there. So I cropped some stuff, I added text. I wanted this board for the rest of 2021 to look amazing and beautiful. And I wanted to be specific to my goals and what I was looking for. And honestly, just have fun with this. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to spark joy in your world and in your life and make you excited to look at it. Put it everywhere. You know, I had dream boards in the past I put behind like one of my doors, you know, and every time I kind of like, you know, would go into that, but put this in front of your face. Anywhere that you're going to see it, put it in front of your face, because we want to speak to your subconscious mind. We want to consistently have that reminder. For me, I always do passwords. I always like rename my bank accounts. There's little things that I do to really help stay focused on some of the goals I've created, especially from a financial and business perspective, which has been really fun. But I am just so grateful for you, and I'm so excited. Again, if you want to share with me, let me know. If you want to see anything else from me that you think that you would really learn from me, please reach out, let me know, comment below. Otherwise, Your Money Makeover, if you're looking for a transformative course that helps you specifically on the money side of things, that is down below. I'll leave a link down below for you to read about it and see if that calls to you. As well as I did a video of the 5 limiting beliefs that we have around money. So if you want that is free on my website as well. So you are all amazing and the best, and I cannot wait to see what you do over these next couple months for the rest of 2021. Bye.